have everybody here with us today to look at this Boyum Cloud solution. We are really excited to be here. I know you're probably familiar with me from other webinars, and I'm really thrilled to have Rosie Coronado from Boyum joining us today. We're going to be going through lots of the different functionality that this Boyum solution can offer, and as always during our webinars, it's going to be shown as a live demo. So we'll really be able to get our hands in there, get dirty, and see what the solution will be able to do. So I'll let Rosie introduce herself as well, and we'll get started. And just a note before that, this is our March webinar series, of course, but next month we will be covering service management. So if you are interested, feel free to join us next month for service. Perfect. Rosie, looks like you might be muted, actually.
There we go. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining today. My name is Rosie Coronado. I'm with Boyum. Hopefully you know us already from some other solutions, but I'm really looking forward to this webinar today. Do you want to have something else, Elizabeth, or you want me to get started?
We can go ahead and get started.
Maybe just to share that this meeting is recorded and live on our Facebook page, so watch out with your wording.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Okay, teacher. No. Cool.
Perfect.
Okay, so what we're gonna see today is our cloud products from Boyum. So we have a product called Produce, which we're gonna get started with. What it is terminals for SAP Business One. If you're doing productions in SAP Business One and you really want a little bit more, this is the perfect fit for you, because it's gonna make it so much easier for you to do execute your production orders. Okay, then we're gonna look at the build product, which is where you can manage your products from SAP Business One, and you can build a bill of material in a very simple way, import the bill of material, and so on. And we also going, we're gonna have coming soon, first week in April, a product called Inspect, which is quality control for SAP Business One, and I can give you a sneak peek today. So if I go in here, so background, that's Elizabeth's slides, a strong partnership with Pioneer One. Actually, I think they were one of our top partners last year. Our products are very stable and powerful, meaning you never have to worry about it if you upgrade SAP Business One and so on. The cloud products, very quick turnaround implementation, okay, low cost and very flexible, because it's subscription based and you can sign up, you know, for a year, for 2 years, or 3 years. So let's start with
Rosie, can you maybe try to share your screen again? It looks like we're not able to see it.
Can you make me the no, you took it from me again. Hold on. Oops. Is it there now?
There we go. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so sorry, everybody. You're like, you probably were thinking, what is she talking about, right? So let's start with Produce. What is Produce? To manage your production orders. And I'm pretty sure what you see today, you're gonna like, because you have everything at your fingertips. So for example, our products, our cloud products are role-based. So imagine you're a production manager. You know, you go into SAP and yes, you can pull up what is released and so on. But how about if you have a dashboard, excuse me, and see exactly who is working on what production order. You see right here, there's an operator is working on 3 production orders and is using those 3 machines, okay? You also see how many production orders are released, everything on a dashboard. And then you have a list view, and the list view tells you actually how many operation each production order has, okay? What is the status? Is it approved? Is it released? Is it not released, and so on. So that's the manager, has everything at their fingertips. They can say, okay, somebody's working on this production order, and they see up here, oh, it's Rosie who is working on that production order. And then you have the operator, the worker. So I have a nice tablet, I log on, come to work, see my release production orders, and I'm gonna start with the first operation, and the time is running. And then at the end, I'll issue the material and register the time. And it is real time. It flows back into SAP Business One, and it issues the material, receives the product in from production. So let me show it to you live. So much better when you see it live, right? Let me go in here. So it's all browser-based, okay? It's a cloud product. You log on. This here is a launchpad. You see the different products right here, and you see, we're gonna start out actually with produce, okay? So you have a manager, and then you have an operator. You see on the bottom, coming soon. That's our quality control module, okay? So if I log in as the manager, first thing the manager can see is the dashboard. And you see right here, I have 6 approved production orders. That means 6 release production orders. I closed one the last 7 days, and it was on time. There are priorities, you see. So I have 2 production orders in low priority, 1 in medium, and 4 in high priority. And here, this is what I was talking about. This I see who is working on what production order. I have 8 missed start date, and 1 is due today. I can drill back from here and kind of get the list view for this production order. And you see that this production order is for this customer. This is the item. It has 3 operations. And you see that 2 were finished and 1 is in progress. And you see that right here. If I get out of this, if I'm gonna click over here, this is the dashboard, then you have the production order list view. And here you see all the production orders you have in SAP Business One. You will see the planned production orders, you will see the release production order, everything right here at your fingertips. You see right here the priorities. And you also see that some of the arrows have like a frame and some don't, because the ones they have a frame, I changed manually. If I let the system automatically calculate it because I configured it a certain way, it doesn't have a frame. But if I change it manually, you will see it has a frame. You also see right here, these ones have not been started, okay? And there is the status, and this one says finalized. So this one had 3 operations and they are finished. So I can go in here as the production manager and click that check mark and finalize this. This will close the production order in SAP Business One. Okay? Nice overviews. Now let's say I'm the operator. I'm coming to work and I'm gonna come over here and log in as the operator. It's different also. I'm on the shop floor and I'm a worker, and I'm gonna go in here. You have a nice tablet, and I see that I'm actually working on that one. Remember we saw it? Before I started it, I can see which resource I'm using, I can see which material I need, and of course we support batch number, serial number, and bin locations in SAP, and it suggests me the batch. And I also have instructions here. Imagine that. So I can get away with all this paperwork. So I have instructions here, and before I started, I read it. Okay, and this is a text line in your SAP Business One on the production orders. So let's say I'm gonna start another one. I'm gonna start this one too. Nothing has been done. Again, I only need 1 material, resource 200. I only need to make 1. There is my instructions again, and I'm gonna start it. So now let's go back to the manager. And I'm going to pull up the dashboard again. So you see right here, I'm working on another one now. Isn't that cool? You see exactly what's going on your production floor. Who is working on what production order and on what machine, what resource. Okay? So if I go over here now, you will also see that I have 2 yellow ones because I started this one. Okay? So let's go back to the operator, and I'm going to finish one. Let me finish the other one. I started it this morning. I'm gonna click stop. And you actually, let me cancel it just so you see. It also tells me that 4 out of 10 were already completed. So there was a partial stop earlier. So let's do a partial stop, and then we do a full stop. Partial stop, you say, okay, more work is required. I didn't get to all of them. I only made 2. You can put in there, do you have any scrap? You know, you can record scrap. I'm gonna click next. And this was my time. Expected time was 2 hours. It took me almost 5 hours. And I cannot do anything to the time because it's backflashed, you know, and you guys, I'm sure you know what backflash, how it works. It automatically posts. I'm gonna click next. And here are my items. And as you can see on the items, I have this box here. If you would have your resource time, your resource set as manual and not backflash, you also could change the time. But I'm gonna go in here. It suggests me all those items, right? That's what I should have taken. Okay, you saw it on the first screen, but then I go in here and said, you know what, actually, I needed 1 more and I took it from this batch. Or you go in here and say, you know what, I only needed 3. Those are serial numbers. It's real time. You record what you really did. And now I'm gonna say next. Then before you actually register the time, you see a nice overview, and you see right here the resource time is backflash and will be booked automatically. As I said, you did 2 out of 6. 6 were expected. And the operation status is incomplete. It's because I said more work is required. And what I really like here on the bottom, you see, hey, you had some material difference. You needed more on this one and less on this one, just in case maybe the operator had a typo or something else, then he can change it. But I'm going to finish it. And once I finish it, you will see that I have it blue now. It's a partial stop. If I click on it now, you see right here, it's blue. And if I go to the manager and refresh this, you also see I'm only working on 1. So very important, it is real time. If I would log on now to SAP Business One, I would see that material issue exactly like you would do what SAP would do, okay? And receive from production. So I'm gonna go back here. And I'm gonna stop this one quick, okay? I'm gonna say stop, I only need to make 1. And in this case, I'm gonna say I'm finished with this operation. And I say I only omitted 1. This one is backflash again, I cannot change it. Expected was 7 minutes, it took me only 3. Again, it's suggesting me this material. In this case, I say everything was good, exactly what I used. And you see, I don't have any material difference. Resource time, 1 out of 1. I did 1 out of 1. And see, the operation status will be completed because I'm done. And as soon as I click finish, it's gonna go away from here that one. See, I only have the second operation for this item. It's because I'm done with it. Why should it still show up? And if I go over here and refresh this really quick, you also will see it here in green. That means this one is completed. And if I go to dashboards, nobody is working on anything right now. Okay? So now let's go back here. I'm sorry, I have a little rough throat. If I go here, so you see this is unapproved. So that means 259, the operator cannot see. You see, it's not here. So you have control. You can say, okay, you know what? I really want them to start working on it. It's in high priority, or the customer called. So before you release it, you can click on here and you can actually come up here and say material availability. it's going to check your SAP, the material in SAP, if you actually have the material to make this. And it's all green. We always like green is good. You could have a yellow, which is like you have it on order, or a red, hey, you have a problem. In my case, it all looks good. I have enough material to make this, okay? So you are good, so you're just gonna click on here, approved. And as soon you approve it, you're gonna see it on the operator, refresh it and come in here, because now he's able to work on it. You saw that, right? Here it is. So, and of course in SAP now it's also released. So if I release it here, it's going to release in SAP. If Orion works in SAP and releases one in SAP, a production order, of course, it's going to be released in here also. It's real time. It's just get away with the paperwork. You have everything here at your fingertips. You have actually way more because you have a nice overview and real-time data right away and don't have to call around and so on. The other thing what you can do here is you, of course, have the transaction history. If there was an issue, maybe you couldn't process something, the operator, because maybe the inventory would have fallen into negative or whatsoever. So you have like a summary right here. And then you also have details. So if something ever would go wrong, you can always go in here and it will tell you what it is. And you as the manager, you fix that, you know, maybe the material wasn't recorded yet and so on. And then you just try to reprocess it. But of course, you also can look up any work order, any transactions right here and get the information. Like this was a partial stop, she made 2. This, I think that's the one we just did. It took me 4 hours and 54 minutes. And so on. So you have the history. And another thing you can do when an operator logs on, let's say I'm logging on, and you say, you know what, Rosie can only work on a certain station with this resource. Only, she should only see operation with this resource. Okay, so then if I open up my tablet, I get my logon screen from here. Then I will only see that, and which is very common. That's why we implemented it. Customers wanted that because you're probably always doing kind of work on the same station. So that was produced. Okay, key features, paperless instruction, absolutely love it. Work list overview, shop floor terminal, no more paperwork. And then of course the manager. I mean, I think I don't have to say much to it. Totally overview on what's going on the shop floor. Nice dashboard. Can basically manage all the production order through this license. Okay. So, any questions on this one?
No? And feel free if you have any questions throughout to enter them in the chat. I'm keeping an eye on that, yes. And can stop Rosie and answer any questions if you have any.
Absolutely. Put it in the chat. We forgot to mention that, right? And I'm going to log on to my SAP server, which I need on the next one. So you see how well it works really quick. I was logged off. So the next one, if you don't have any questions, gotta concentrate my password. We're gonna move to build. So what is build? We're gonna move to this one. It's really to manage your products. If you're a product manager and you are the one who enters items into SAP, or if you're one who builds the bill of material, and maybe there sometimes takes you days to do so, or you're the one who has totally control of the bill of material and just need to make changes sometimes because you're discontinuing an item and so on. This is the perfect tool for you, product for you. Because right here, you can see all your items. Of course, they come from inventory. If Orion puts in an item now in inventory, I could look it up right here. You see all your resources because that's what you need for bill of material, right? And operations. Everything in SAP comes from SAP. And of course, you can add a new item, a resource, an operation straight from here, and absolutely it will flow back to SAP. Okay, so but let's go, oh actually let me go to an item and let me find an item. I'm going to find a bill of material. I'm in operation, sorry, what am I doing? So let me find an item. So I couldn't find anything. I'm going to check this item out. It's a finished good, meaning it's a produced item. And then you say, you know what, we are not using this raw material anymore. I'm going to delete it from this raw material, and actually we are adding a different raw material. We're going to add this one for this bill of material. I'm going to save it, and right now it's also updated in SAP. Okay, it's real time. If I pull up this this bill of material, it's also updated in SAP. So you can update, you can add update material, you can add a new item. But let's say Elizabeth just sent me an email and she has a new request. So I have to build a new item. Okay, so I'm going to say a new request. There is my status. And then I can say, okay, actually, I'm going to put it over in progress because I'm going to start working on it. And this is so nice. So maybe Elizabeth sent me an attachment. So I can say add an attachment because she sent me an attachment to a picture of how she wants the item to look like. Okay, you can put a description in here. Then you say, okay, I need to have this bill of material completed on 9th of April. It calculates how much time you have to create this bill of material. And then you can create tasks, for example, check specs or check something, you know, check color and so on. Those are your reminders, you know, and then you can just scratch them off once you completed it. It's a nice way for you kind of to keep track if something comes in. Hey, I need to follow up on that. So now I can choose an existing item and work off that item, or I create a new item. It's the same if I would go here, add new. So I'm going to create a new item, just like you would do in SAP. You put in your code and the name. Okay, and what I like a lot, you create your own templates, and each template is attached to an item, and then you are actually telling the system, hey, take all the default settings from this template, from that item I have attached there, to this new item. Okay, and then you're gonna choose the unit of measure, and then you're gonna choose what item group it's in, and then you save it. And as soon as you save it, it's there, and now it's in SAP Business One. Get in here. If I go to my database and I go to my inventory, and there it is. There is the item which was created. You see right here, storage. Okay. So now this is my final product, but now I have to, of course, build it. What do I need to do to build this item? So I'm going to go to bill of material. What material do I need? So I can say duplicate from an existing item again, or start from scratch and you just put it one by one manually, or you import it from Excel. So imagine you have a template, I send it over to Elizabeth. I said, okay, here's our items, and I need you to fill this out, what you would like to have in this, you know, put in the raw material, the materials. And she sends it back, and I'm just going to import it. Very nice, and here it is. So then, of course, I always can go in here and say, you know what, I forgot, she forgot to put one item because I can type, I'm sorry. I really need this item to be included to make this item, and you can add as many as you want. Okay? So And you see the colors. I like the colors. Always the blue is raw material, yellow is that's a produced item. Okay, so this is good. I'm happy with it. You know, maybe you need to step away. You save it. You can change the progress from here or drag and drop and so on. But now I'm just going to continue and I'm going to say, now I'm going to build. Okay, I need operation 2. I need operation 4 to make this item. You know, maybe it's assembly, mixing, I don't know. Okay, and the resources. So I need this resource on this operation, and I need this resource on this operation. And it's going to tell us, hey, you will put in a setup time. What do you think it's the setup time and what is the job time? Okay, so what material do I need on the, oops, sorry about that. What material do I, maybe just put myself, I apologize for this. Do not disturb. What material do I use, what I need for the first operation and second operation? So I can go in here and use found and say, okay, I need this one, this one, this one is for the first operation, drag and drop it, and everything else is for the second operation. Isn't that neat? So you're right here, you're double checking, it all looks good. Then maybe you want to know, hey, this is a sub-assembly. What do I need for this sub-assembly? You can actually drill back, just like we did earlier. Then you can see what does it take to build this item. Or you go over here and you can expand it here on this different view, which is very much liked by all the customers, because you don't have to go to another screen or whatsoever. And now something really cool comes. So you have built it and now like, gosh, I really would like to know what this item actually cost me with all this material and all this stuff. I would like to do a calculation. So you can go here and you can say, okay, my price source is base price because that's my default setting on my configuration, and my price destination is my regular sales price. And I'm just going to calculate a lot of one, just one. And then you can start your calculation. And what you see here now is your results. So you see your labor and material costs, you see your sales cost, and this is your final sales price. This percentages, that's your configuration, okay? So now you say, you know what? Actually, I need to change the shipping. It's a flat amount. Or I need to change administrative cost because they changed their mind many times. And you see the price keeps changing depending what adjustments you make. If I go down here, you see there's a chart, total indirect cost, total direct cost, and sales cost. And what people really like, customers, is this, the list view. Because you see everything, all the cost from the material to produce this item. You see the unit cost and the total cost, and also from your resources. I know on this one I only had 2 resources, but my sub-assembly had also a resource. That's why you see 3. So now you say, okay, I'm happy with this price, $3,230, $3,230, and actually I want to upload the sales price to SAP. So right now I only have that that new underscore that one underscore new item in SAP, but I want to upload this bill of material. I'm going to click in here, put some release notes in there, and I'm going to say release product. And now if I go back to SAP, green is always good. That means it went well. I'm in SAP. I still have that screen open. But if I click refresh, you will see that that code will be grayed out because I booked something against it. You know the SAP rules, right? Because I have a bill of material next to against it. If I look at my sales price, there is what we calculated. Just love it. And there's my bill of material. This is what we just built. That's my bill of material, and you're ready to go. Okay. And then, of course, here you can say, okay, actually, I'm going to put it and complete it. I completed this one and just move it over here. or you do it with drag and drop as I showed you earlier. Oops, didn't save it. Oops. Come on. And there we go. It's now, I moved it over here. It's on my completed column. Okay. So that's our build. It's really like if you deal a lot with bill of material or updating bill of material, a very simple way for it, a very user-friendly way to do so, and very simple and very straightforward. And what customers really like is the look and feel, just to drag and drop, and they can actually go here and work on it, and you know, and do the cost calculation. That's huge. I think that's really, really big. Okay, so if I go here, build, I never showed you the slides, right? Now you know what it is, right? It's really to build your products, plan it, build it, calculate it, huge, my favorite, and then approve it and release it up to SAP Business once you are done with it, as we just did all those steps. Okay, so you have a nice planning board. Okay, a product costing, bill of material input, that's huge, also very much liked by customers. You track it depending what status you move it to, and so on. So, and the new product, which is we're gonna release in next week, 2 weeks, is our quality control product, and you saw it right here. I still have it. Oops. You see it right here. It says coming soon, so that'll be off probably by next week. I just spoke to them. Quality inspection management. Okay. And what this does, and I have it open on the other screen. There we go. So it's really, what can it do? Test templates, okay, sampling plan. Okay, if you make a lot of pieces of something and you say, okay, you know what, I need to create samples and it needs to go through quality control. So I'll give you a little sneak peek, really quick. It's on my other screen. So the manager will also have a dashboard. I don't have it available yet. Like I said, it's not rolled out yet. But here, all the quality control orders, okay, the ones they say finalized, that means they have been done. And you see it didn't pass right here. So this had 5 samples, meaning you had to pull 5 pieces and measure them, depending what the quality control was. If I click release, that means somebody can start working on it. This one, somebody is working on it, but is not done. So the manager, again, it's role-based. This is the quality control manager. The quality control manager can always drill back and says, hey, somebody's working on it, but they only did 2 samples out of 5. So it's really real time again. Okay, and of course you are the one, you create the inspection plans. I'm just going to pull one up. I have this inspection plan that I have 2 tests to do. I have this test where it's, you know, visual, is it passed, no pass, or maybe a maybe, or you can also put a defect in there. Hey, it makes you, when you say it didn't pass, you need to put a defect in there. I need that information why it didn't pass. This is my approval target, and this is a variable test. Okay, desired is 3 centimeters, but it's between 2 and 4. Okay. You also create your measurement units here. It has nothing to do with SAP because it depends what you want to use to check on your items. Okay, and then you have your operators here. Your sampling plans are, for example, if I go in here, you set up the rules. If I do an order and the order is between 1 and 20, I want you to create 2% samples. If it's 21 and up, 5% samples. Okay? So let's say if I have 100 between, if I have 1 till 100, I do 10%, and you actually have 100 coming in, so it would do 10 samples for you. It does it automatically. This is your logic. You set that up. What we have also, goods receipt, there is more coming, like during production, after production, so you know, is what that you can say, I'm going to have a rule. If I receive items in an SAP Business One, because it talks to SAP Business One, so I'm doing a receiving in, and I said, if this item is in the item group items and the supplier equals to, or the supplier, you can do a and or, is lesser come, then I want you to create for order per document line, or create one order per document line or per batch, a quality control order, and it does it automatically. So you don't have to be in here. You do the goods receipt, and the manager will see that order. All the manager here has to do is releases it. Okay, so you can automate all that. But I'm gonna make one really quick, a new one, inspection order. I'm just gonna do one manually. I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna inspect. Let me do a different item. I'm gonna inspect them. Let's do 3. There's 20 in there, okay. And I'm gonna do the fixed sampling plane. I only have 2, and inspection plane. I'm gonna use this one, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so if I go to my inspection orders, I have a new order. There we go. Let me go back here. This was the new order we just did. So you see right away that it created, because I have my template, it did exactly the plane I told it to. And all I have to do is release, because you know what? Again, 2 different kind of license. The ones, the operator, they are working on it, okay? And the other one is the manager right here. Oops, this is the operator. And the other one is the manager who, just like with produce, you have the production manager and you have the ones that are doing their work. As soon as I release it, I forgot if I released it. Too many screens open, so I got that. I'm gonna release this one. As soon as I release it, you're gonna see it's gonna create the samples. See, it created 5 samples, meaning I need the users to do 5, need to check 5 of those pieces. Okay, I'm gonna refresh it over here quick. There we go, and you see it came in here, and then operator just like on the other side. That's the beauty of it. I go in here, I'm gonna look at this inspection order, quality control order. I can actually check how many samples I have by expanding here. It's very well done. You see up here 5 samples also, and then I go, okay, this is good. This was 3 centimeters. It's okay. Next. And then you go. So I'm gonna go to my second sample. Let's say it's good. This was 3.56. And next, and you go through it. And the manager, of course, as soon they pulled up this, if I refresh this really quick, the manager sees, oh, somebody's working on it. See the differences here. It passed, but it was a little bit over. The manager sees everything again, and that's the beauty of it. It is real time. This one failed, had this defect, okay, and then, oops, and the measurements were okay though. And you just go for it. So let me go really quick and go through the samples, and you will be all familiar with quality control. Okay, I'm gonna review the order. Okay, I did all 5 and I'm gonna complete it. Operator, that's what I have to do. It goes away because I'm done. I did what I was supposed to do. And if I go back to refresh this really quick, you see right here, it failed, inspection order failed right here. And I can finalize it right now. I can finalize it, meaning, okay, that's fine. Okay. And that way the manager, it goes away from the manager's screen also, because they reviewed it, the manager, and it's fine. Okay, So this is a little sneaker peek. So it's really very similar to Produce. You have the manager role-based. This is the quality control manager, and then you actually have people on the shop floor. They are working on those quality control orders. Like I said, it's not completed at 100%. We are getting really close. You will have a beautiful dashboard also that's coming really soon. And you also will have more here. Some more changes are coming right here. And you can not just for goods receipts, we're gonna also include during production at one point and after production. But that was just a little sneaker peek, so you know it's available, because quality control is big and actually people are really waiting on it. Actually, we sold it already, though we haven't released it yet. Okay. So any questions? I know it was a lot of information, but just this is, I like this screen because you can picture it better. Build is a product, okay? Produce is a product, but Produce has two different kind of license, the manager license and the operator license. Like you guys know from SAP, professional license, CRM license, example. You need at least one manager license on those products. And the same with Inspect, you need at least one manager license, and then, you know, as many operators as you want, because you do your configuration on the manager license. Okay.
Rosie, I got a question in the chat about SAP licenses. So can you share, are they able to use, if they already have an SAP license,
Yes.
will they need any other SAP license or just that Boyum license?
Then it's just the Boyum. If you have an SAP license, you absolutely, that's all you need. And if you don't have an SAP license, let's say you have some users, they're not in SAP, maybe the ones on the shop floor, right? But you want them to set up with terminals now to do their production orders, you need to have a user-based indirect license for SAP. And I don't know the price, but that's the cheapest one, right, Elizabeth, right? Because it needs to talk to SAP from the back end. Yeah.
Perfect. So, and as we share and create the blog for this and share all of the documentation, we've included some links here to guide you to different pages in Boyum that will help you with any kind of documentation that you're looking for with the cloud products. Their homepage, their help center, and their community page are all really amazing resources where you can get connected to other users in the community, share different enhancements that you're looking to make, or anything like that. So they have a great community there and provide lots and lots of documentation to support you. And I've included their YouTube page there as well.
Yes, you can find a lot of information. That's me, and this is Elizabeth. So if you want to get a deeper dive on any of the products, you know, we have videos out there, but please contact Elizabeth and her team. Okay, and she can always set up something one-to-one with me if you want to talk a little bit in deeper with it. But if you have any questions now, feel free. We still have some time.
I want to just mention something. Hi, this is Oren. Great job, Rosie and Beth. Thank you for walking through that. One of the things that I really like about the Boyum Cloud is the flexibility. Yes. So they have priced this for quarterly, annually, 2 years commitment, 3 years commitment, and it goes down based on the commitment. But what I really like is the flexibility. So what we've done with a couple of clients is we got them one user for 1 quarter so they can test it, they could put it in place. And to put it in place is really not a huge task because it's really embedded within SAP and using the same structure and the same tables. So then you could really test it, making sure it works on your devices, making sure it works for you before committing to a big amount of users and in a long-term commitment. And prices are really surprising. We are really talking about what is it? Depends on the commitment. It could be between kind of $10 and $20 per user per month, right? This is what we're looking at.
That's right. A good point. Very good. Yeah, it's very simple to install, to run and get it up running. So, and it supports SAP's logic. So the learning curve is very simple for your users. Mm-hmm.
And just another point to mention, you may have talked about it, this will work for both HANA client as well as SQL client as long as you are on a 10.0 version, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're going to be on SQL version 10 for SAP because it has a service layer, and for HANA, if you're on 9.3, you're good to go too.
Okay.
Very good. Anything else? Everybody's quiet?
Guys, feel free to unmute if you have questions or want to drill down. Well, we have Rosie here. We talk to her only once a day, so. All right, I think you did an awesome job. No questions, so
wonderful.
Wrap up, Beth.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us for the third of our webinar series in 2021. It's been a lot of fun so far, getting to cover 1099s, financials in the shop floor platform. And next month, we will be covering service management, as I'd mentioned. So we would love to have you join us there. If you are using service, if you're not using service, feel free to join us and learn more. And again, thank you so much, Rosie, for joining and showing everybody this amazing solution.
Thank you. I really enjoyed it myself. So if you have any questions, please contact Owen or Elizabeth, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you all. Happy Friday. Have a good weekend.
Happy Friday.